Hello, my name is Lucas Stewart. I'm the President and CEO of Survival Storm Shelters. Survival Storm is a division of Harbor Homes based in Thomasville, Georgia. Our company has manufactured over $60 million in disaster housing over the past decade. As a major supplier to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and FEMA, we hold a current active $153 million contract to build low VOC temporary housing units in the event of future large-scale disasters in the U.S. Our company's been active around the world building schools, homes, medical clinics, and man camps in Haiti, the Caribbean, and Africa for years. We've also been active in Central and South America and are frequently consulted by state and federal emergency managers for our disaster management expertise. There are a lot of fly-by-night operations out there building storm shelters out of plastic, fiberglass, and concrete. We believe in building a product that is made to last for generations to come, and we have the necessary expertise to accomplish this goal. We've put together this video to show you how our storm shelters are made and what makes our shelters different from other products available on the market today.
Survival Storm shelters are manufactured in Thomasville, Georgia by highly skilled craftsmen. Our tornado shelters and safe rooms are constructed of high-strength 10-gauge steel plate, cut and prepped to our exact specifications to ensure that your storm shelter is of the highest quality. When it comes to protecting your life and safety, we don't take any shortcuts. You won't find cheap plastic or fiberglass in a Survival Storm shelter. One question that we often receive from prospective customers is, how do you keep your shelters from leaking? The answer is simple. Over the past decade, our company has built millions of dollars of houseboats, floating docks, and other marine structures that are subjected to harsh environmental conditions. Our marine-grade welders employ the same welding techniques and attention to detail that they would if they were building a ship or a boat. We don't leave anything to chance. We use a multi-step quality control process that includes spot checks, sign-offs, and the use of technology such as dye penetration tests to ensure that all welds are solid and waterproof. There's a reason that underground gas tanks, oil pipelines, and ships are not made out of fiberglass or plastic. These materials are simply not as strong, durable, or reliable as steel. Concrete is great for some things, but even it is reinforced by steel. We know that when it comes time to seek refuge in a Survival Storm shelter, you won't open the hatch to find it full of water and unusable when you need it most. After welding the components of your storm shelter together, the entire shelter is sandblasted to ensure that the exterior surface is ready to receive a heavy-duty 16 mil coating of coal tar epoxy. The interior of your storm shelter is then thoroughly prepped and painted in a glossy white finish with a bead of urethane caulk carefully laid down at all structural welds for an additional layer of protection against the elements. It takes a little more time to do the job right, but we're confident that you will be pleased with the results. The exterior of your storm shelter is then finished with a waterproof coal tar finish, and a stencil is carefully applied to give it that finished look. The installation of your Survival Storm shelter is fairly simple and straightforward, but it does require the expertise of a skilled backhoe operator and several workers. The hole is dug just a little larger than the size of your shelter, and auger-style anchors are set by hand in the four corners. You can see why it's important that our steel storm shelters don't leak. A lot of water can accumulate around an underground storm shelter. That's why we think that steel is the only way to go. Once the anchors are in place, they are threaded with steel bands and the storm shelter is set in place in the hole. The bottom of the hole will have been well leveled, and the workers will make any required fine adjustments to ensure that the shelter remains level and plumb. The bands are then drawn tight and connected to the anchors on the opposite side. It's important that these anchors are strong and durable, as they will keep your storm shelter securely anchored into the ground, controlling for buoyancy created by groundwater. Once the hole is backfilled, you're ready to use your shelter, and not a minute too soon. Mama, get those kids in the shelter. There's no need for children to be frightened. All of our storm shelters come standard with 2 threaded conduits for water and electric and phone connections as well. Having a few of the creature comforts along with a couple of stuffed animals goes a long way toward calming frightened children during a nasty storm. In addition to keeping you safe from violent windstorms, our shelters are designed and fabricated with your comfort in mind. A U-shaped bench provides comfortable seating while you ride out the storm, and the space under the bench gives you ample storage room for emergency supplies such as water, flashlights, and even a complete 72-hour disaster preparedness kit. In the unlikely event that the entrance to your storm shelter becomes obstructed by debris, as a Survival Storm shelter, you are covered by our proprietary storm shelter geolocator service. This service initiates a wellness call to you and, if necessary, your loved ones to confirm that you have safely exited your storm shelter after the storm. If we are unable to confirm this by phone, we will dispatch first responders to your exact location. Survive a Storm Shelters offers a wide array of below-ground storm shelters and above-ground safe rooms, as well as custom-designed community storm shelters for up to 96 people. While there may be more costly and less costly shelters available on the market, we are committed to providing you the greatest value while maintaining the highest level of quality and safety. When you invest in a Survive a Storm shelter, you are guaranteed peace of mind, knowing that your shelter has been designed certified by a professional engineer licensed in your state to be compliant with FEMA 320, 361, and ICC 500 standards. Your Survive a Storm shelter model has also been subjected to a simulated F5 tornado at the world-renowned Wind Research Institute at Texas Tech University, with forces equivalent to that of a 250-mile-per-hour tornado.
Thank you for taking the time to learn more about our storm shelters and safe rooms. We at Survive a Storm recognize that the investment in protecting your loved ones is a decision that should be made only after careful consideration. To better assist you with your choice of shelter manufacturer, your authorized dealer has prepared a complimentary comparison form that is available for you and your family. After comparing options, we feel you will agree with the many other satisfied Survive a Storm owners that you are providing the best protection available for your loved ones. Don't delay. Make the decision to protect your family before the next storm.